Hello everyone, I'm NiiNiiFC and this is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing the match review of our loss to Bayern Munich, and there's actually a lot of things to talk about in this live stream today. First, underperforming, a lot of players not up to the task. I was very angry with Mitchie and Willian, really losing the ball way too easy. You know what, I'm going to get straight into things now. I'm going to talk about the first half, and we actually did start very brightly in that first minute. I mean, and this is how the formation's really supposed to work. You have to have the wing-backs bombing forwards. They support the play. They allow the midfield to push up, and that in turn allows the defence to push up really high as well. And we only managed to do that for the start to capitulate from then on. And really, a lot of the things I've been seeing are comments I've been making constantly last season, and if anything, it could say it's something to do with Conte as well. But yeah, I mean, to get on with things, yeah, I mean, really, the defense wasn't great, and of course we conceded really early on. We conceded 2 goals very early to kick things off straight away. The front three, especially Mitchie. Now, I keep making this point. The way our system works is Conte likes central balls going straight to the front three. In turn, they hold onto possession. They keep the ball, and then you create the overloads and you create the 5 up front kind of situations. Of course, if a member of your front three is losing the ball consistently, that means that they're leaving space in behind. They have to retract and run back, and then versus are exposed, and then they're stretched because then they have to cover the space left and behind by the wing backs, and that was constantly happening, especially on the left hand side. And I must say, now I think with Marcos Alonso, I think potentially this definitely could be down to a lack of match fitness. You have to realise Bayern Munich, this is their 7th pre-season game. This is only our 3rd, and that's definitely going to play a part, especially the humidity in Singapore. I'm not saying that's the excuse, but again, he's just showed all of his defensive inefficiencies, and I think we really need that upgrade. It's massive. That Sandro money, we need to spend that 60 million on him, because Alonso and Cahill really aren't the best, and the amount of space in behind Alonso kept leaving. He was always running back. He was never in the position, and it was Bayern were just creating that. Honestly, with Bayern Munich, another point I keep saying is, you guys heard my earlier point about how we like to have our attacking build up in terms of playing the central balls to the front three to keep the ball and, let the wing backs get forward and the rest of the team push up. But I keep stressing the point, Conte needs to using that attacking build up and having another one. And I think with the wide players we possess and the type of wing backs we possess, we should be alternating between attacking down the flanks. And look at Bayern Munich. They were a prime example of what you're supposed to do. And, you keep that core tight in the middle and you let your defence and midfielders push up, and then your midfielders then have the options to spray the passes. I mean, we've got Fabregas, is one of the best in the world at that, and we've got Kante, probably the best ball-winning midfielder in the world. So again, that's no front three to always be the ones holding the ball, then that's going to be a problem, especially when Mitchie Batshuayi just isn't that striker just yet. It's going to take him probably another year and I mean, I'm going to get on to Morata later on in the second half, but I mean, even when he came on immediately, you could just see the control was there. And that was what we were missing in the first half especially. And Mitchie won the ball and it was a sloppy pass. Not enough power in it. Overhitting it. Hitting it against a Bayern player. Wrong option. Front three at all, because Boga, the positions he was in to receive the ball, was getting wasted, because he should be the one driving at the Bayern full at Rafinha and allowing us to get forward. That wasn't happening, because it's just like it's a massive jigsaw with Chelsea. You need to have every piece. Where parts isn't there, then it's not going to work. And that's what happened today. And the crazy thing is, the minute one player, especially, affects our attacking build-up and our performance in the game. And again, here's the thing, you guys, I just want to get this clear straight away. When I'm talking about these, my match reviews, I like to get into the tactical analysis and, this player's out. I know this is a pre-season game. Don't get it twisted about things I'm seeing from last season. And really, this needs to improve a lot more, because again, the likes of the wing back situation, honestly, yeah, I mean, some other players didn't play as well. Aspie was a very rare mistake, the way he allowed Ribery to really get past him. He was very flat-footed then, and keeping tight with the winger and forcing them back. But again, this is why I'm stressing the point that it's only pre-season. Our player match fitness isn't there. To think we played a game not too long ago, then travelled to Singapore So the players haven't had much time, especially when you constantly, when you think about the double training sessions happening at the same time. So of course, it's not optimum fitness. So a lot of these simple mistakes wouldn't be happening as the season goes on. So I'm not getting it too twisted. I'm not going to be having a crazy go at Aspie, because that's just the reality of the situation at the moment. I think Cahill was decent in this game. Really, he was the closest to Müller, and Cahill just needs to know he needs to be comfortable and confident stepping out and closing someone down. He's notorious for backing away aggressive enough. I mean, I know David Luiz, he can kind of be 50-50 in these situations, but at least Muller's not having the shot then, because he's closing him straight down. And I think really Cahill, with his experience, he's 31, 32 years old, he should know how to understand when a situation like that is happening and to read it better. But yeah, I think in some of the positive performances in the first half, I thought Christensen was good. The few moments when he was getting run at, he was looking very, very accomplished. There was a time when Ribery was running at him. Now, here's the thing. I'm using Cahill again, but if that was Cahill, his body balance is all over the place. He's swerving. He's giving a free opening to Ribery to get past him. Christensen at that moment, look at Ribery, stood his ground. Ribery had to slow down. He had no channel to manoeuvre. That was top-class defending. It's one of those things that you might not pay attention to because it wasn't like a world-class tackle or anything, but that shows the intelligence, understanding of reading of the game by Christensen. I was happy with Kante. What I love about Kante, regardless, you're going to get a good performance from him, and he's going to put in the same effort. Yeah, there were a few times, 1 or 2 times, Sanchez tackled a very physical player himself. They're human beings. They're not they're not superheroes. I was very happy with Kante in terms of winning the board. His distribution was good too, and he looked to keep things ticking. Boga, the ball, he was looking dangerous, making things happen. He was the reason why we managed skipping past and, playing it back inside the box. Obviously, I think Fabregas played the pass into Alonso, and that was it. And I was happy with him. I was disappointed by Mitchell in this hold-up because Boga was taking up a lot of good positions. The ball, Willian was decent. Again, Willian I wasn't happy with. Again, he was someone losing the ball as well. But again, I have to take into effect it is pre-season. There's lag. I'm not too sure what's happening, you guys, with the lag. So yeah, I'm gonna just have to continue. Hopefully, it's gonna buffer. I mean, my internet is like 80 megs, so there should be no excuse, and my upload is super high as well. So there should be no excuse for lag, which is really frustrating. But anyway, I'm just gonna have to push on and continue with it. Yeah, again, it's a pre-season, so we have to take that into consideration and understand that. Oh, it's finally working. The lag's finally gone. Oh, thank God. Honestly, sometimes fuckery can just happen for no reason whatsoever. But anyway, yeah, 3 goals up. And again, they're penetrating the flanks and we're looking very weak then. I'm moving on to Marcus Alonso a bit more. He was never there in position. But then at the same time, you have to understand Boga. It's going to take him a while to understand his more defensive contribution to the game. It's not there just yet at the moment in time. It is going to get better. But again, I'm not going to blame him for that because it was the same thing with Hazard. I mean, Hazard still isn't the perfect player defending. And with players like that, you don't want them doing that. But Alonso was constantly out of position. Was never there. Was getting beaten. Especially from, defending from at the far post as well. And it was a very, very poor performance. And I was really surprised that Conte left him on for so long. Yeah, he took his goal, but this isn't PE. This isn't like 5-a-side with the boys in the park. This is professional football. Just scoring a goal doesn't justify any type of performance, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, it was poor. It was very poor. But anyway, the positive was in the last 10 minutes we were picking things up, and you know what? He was holding on the ball a bit better, and in turn, Fabregas was on the ball because he could finally push up because the wing backs were finally able to get wide and stretch the play, and then we were keeping the ball in Bayern's half. And when it comes to us playing in front of teams' defences, I think we're very good at that. I think the issue is that under Conte, and it happened enough where we're constantly applying the pressure like we should be, in my opinion. And I think that's something definitely to work on. The introduction of Alexandro could definitely help towards that on the left-hand side. And yeah, of course, with that pressure we're putting on Bayern Munich, we did get the first goal to make it 3-1. But then moving on to the second half, and yeah, it was a better performance to the first half. not by like a massive margin. And really, this game really reminded me of you know, our game against Real Madrid. Identical moments. You know, we're losing 3-0, come back to make it 2, had chances to equalise right at the end, and yeah, we're continuing on with that. Morata finally comes on. You know, finally waiting to see him. And Conte did something different. You know, he took off Boga and Christensen because they were probably two of our, you know, Christensen, Boga, and Kante were our 3 best players. I was disappointed that Conte took him off. But again, it seemed like he was introducing a 3-5-2. But it was quite different because without the ball, Morata was playing on the left-hand side. So he was able to drop deep, cut inside. When we had the ball, he was moving into those infield positions with Michy. And I think by doing that, that did allow us to have better control of the ball. And that did allow us to have the wing-backs pushing up much higher. Because I think we were able to have 2 options very close together. It was easy to make the central passes to them, and it seemed to have some benefits. It was a shame that Morata didn't seem to get many chances. Of course, you know, he's getting used to the system. It wasn't even our best performance anyway, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do against Inter Milan. I'm praying he starts that game. You know, I think maybe Michy needs a rest, and he needs to kick up the backside. And he had a chance, did very well against Arsenal this game. You know, it's like going 2 steps forward and then 1 step back with Michy. I think Morata, even the brief spell he was on, I think he was already showing signs that this is the guy we need to really complement the front 3. He's going to really help gel our whole attacking unit. He's going to make us better. And it's going to be very exciting to see Morata. And he looks, let's be honest, he looks great in a Chelsea kit. The blue suits him. And he looks much bigger. I don't know what it is about this kit with making everyone look bigger and more muscular than they are, but again, maybe this could be an intimidating factor to opponents. I don't even know why I made that point. But yeah, you know, we managed to. Mitchell got a goal at the end. It's weird that 2 of our worst performers were the ones that got us the goals. Again, like I said, don't let that detract from the overall performance and quality of the performance, because it was still very poor by both of them. But yeah, you know, we were creating chances. Obviously, Luis's introduction was good. You know, I was really hoping that this would have been an opportunity to see Luis and Christensen together, because I kind of have a theory that, you know, let's be serious, with our wide centre backs, they're the ones allowed to really push up into midfield. And I'm thinking, I know Aspie has that a lot of times, he's allowed to do that, but he's not the best really technically on the ball, especially with his passes. I was kind of the theory that, well, we know Luis is one of the best ball playing defenders in the world. What if he was given the left centre-back position? And why do I say left? Because Luis has a left foot and a right foot. They're both as good as each other. Imagine if he had the ability to push out wide to support the attack instead of an Aspie, where he can be a goal threat, he can play the better passes. He can, you know, if he spots someone making a run, that's taking pressure off Fabregas as well, because he can make those through ball passes. Then you have Christensen in the middle, who, again, this guy isn't a 21-year-old. I mean, this guy plays like he's much older already, because his reading is fantastic. He plays very mature. And then you have an Aspie on the right. I think that could be a centre-back option that really, really works. And again, it's really going to help support our attacking play much more. And I was really hoping, this is pre-season, I thought Conte is going to alternate between the squad a bit more, really experiment, try and find a few more players. I think he did that briefly when Moses was moved to the left and Tomori on the right. I was calling that since the whole first half. That should be happening. I don't know what took Conte so long to introduce that. But I think one thing is, Tomori looked good when he came on. And he's definitely got much bigger and much more muscular, which is a good sign. Moses too. I think this game really needs to show that people really need to get off Moses' back. He's kind of unfortunate, but anytime people talk about wing-backs, for some reason Moses is put in the same bubble as Alonso, which isn't the case. And I really think seeing Moses playing on the left today really showed people that actually, you know what, Moses actually can defend, because there are a lot of times where he was left isolated with Coman running at him, and he was holding his ground, he was winning the ball. Yeah, people will say stuff in the final third, but you got to realise he was an isolated figure as a wing-back on the left. He didn't have any support with him. And this is the thing I'm worried about in terms of if we did switch to a 3-5-2, because now the wing-backs don't necessarily have that same attacking support on the wings that they tend to do. So then it's going to become much more, I think there could be some difficulties, especially if teams are just defending very deep. But again, that's something to see as the season goes on. That's going to be quite interesting. But honestly, I'm happy that we're looking at using a 3-5-2 and the 3-4-3. But I was really hoping maybe Conte would try and experiment with a 4-3-3. I really think that formation could really help, you know, improve how we build up and how we play, because that formation will allow us to keep the ball. And I am disappointed with the use of the squad by Conte at the moment. We've heard in the press conference that he's saying that he wants to bring in more players, but I was disappointed when he said that I only trust 16 players out of the squad, which I really can't understand or believe. And this is pre-season. He should be testing all of them to really see what they can offer. And doing the same tired routine of waiting until the 70th minute and 80th minute to bring people on in pre-season, come on now, Conte. I can't accept that. I can't tolerate that. That shouldn't be the case, especially when players are getting used out like Baker playing on the left for some reason. You're using Pasalic over him in midfield compared to Baker. That was another baffling thing by me. And yeah, I'm hoping too. I want to see some improvements, not just in the squad, but by Conte as well, because so far everything he's done tactically is all the same things that we've seen from last season. And again, this is pre-season. This is the time you can experiment and make things happen. And he's not doing that at this moment in time. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the Inter game. I think, we really need to see what happens, because the test is going to be coming in 2 weeks against Arsenal, and we can't lose to Arsenal at Wembley in the Community Shield. I can't accept that. I can't tolerate that. That can't be happening. I mean, it looks like Arsenal are far behind in their pre-season campaign already, so that's going to be a bonus. But I think that yeah, we're starting to see what the team is most likely to be when it comes to the Community Shield game in 2 weeks. I think the setup we're seeing from the start is basically nearly the whole team. I'm thinking if Boga starts against Inter Milan as well, I think this guy's got a great chance of actually being in the squad for next year, because I think for me, if I see him play a part in the Community Shield, then Boga will be in the squad for next year. But again, when I'm making all these points, we have to remember Bakayoko and Rudiger haven't played yet. So I think with Rudiger playing, that's going to sort a lot of the problems on the left-hand side. Because when I look at Alonso, it screams to me, I need support on the left. He does need that. I'm always making this point in football. When in football, you have to complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's a team game. It's about partnerships, understanding of each other. You could have 11 of the best players in the world. If they can't play together, it would mean nothing. And I think that Rudiger is going to sort that problem. And Bakayoko, I think that's going to be interesting. But here's the thing. Bakayoko, when he comes to Chelsea, he's going to be playing the Matic role. I think he's got more than that. I really do. I really think if we can get Alexandro, and if there's Rudiger on the left, that's going to give Bakayoko a bit more freedom. Because with Matic last year, he had to always play behind the halfway line. Because, look at this game today on the left-hand side. You can see the mess we're in. But I think with Rudiger, who's comfortable pushing out wides, and Alexandro as well, one of the best wing backs in the world, we're going to hopefully give more creative freedom to Bakayoko, where he could actually drive out of midfield at times. And hopefully Conte isn't going to be too negative with him and tell him to be too tactically disciplined. So it's going to be very interesting. It's a shame that we can't see them play. I'm hoping that those two play a part against Inter Milan. I'm really praying, because again, when I'm doing these match reviews, I can't give the 100% full assessment at the moment, because I haven't seen all the players. Maybe Conte's got different plans. So again, don't think I'm just being some negative nanny and just doing all this nonsense. But anyway, you guys, that's going to end the match review for 3-2 loss to Bayern Munich. Yeah, again, there's a lot of negatives in this game. But one thing you have to compliment is the Chelsea spirit. I really like the intensity in this game. I like the intensity the players put in. We don't treat anything like a pre-season. That's always a good sign. And we're coming back in the game like I knew we would do. Because there's no way the players we have in this team, the winners we have, are going to tolerate getting battered just like that. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching the match review. Of course, add me on Twitter. That's at NiiNiiFC. Look in the description below. I'm going to have a few player compilations coming out later today. There's going to be one on Christensen, Jeremy Boga, and Alvaro Morata. So definitely stay tuned in the channel for that. Add me on Snapchat. There's going to be another Snapchat Q&A. I'm going to release Friday's Snapchat Q&A tomorrow. Of course, I had to delay it because I've had so many other videos I have to put in, and I don't want to squash everything together and let them overrun. So if you guys have any personal questions you want to ask, the Snapchat is there. You can see it. Add it. Send a video message in. have a chance to be featured in the video series, definitely do that. Thank you guys for watching the match review. More than 300 people is crazy. The channel is really starting to blow up. I'm really happy. It's going to get even better. I'm going to be introducing my first match vlog when the Community Shield comes, so definitely stay tuned for that. Shout out to official Harison for the beautiful channel art, templates, thumbnails. I mean, he's really helping my vision come to life. You guys, I'm rambling on. I need to go. I need to start preparing other shit. I need to start cutting all the footage of the compilations I've done, so it's going to be a long day. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching the match review. I'm NiiNiiFC. This is Blue Lions TV, and I'll see you guys all for the next match review against Inter Milan.